when both these, I say both these squads were in their prime. It's only VP that took a bit of a dip as of late. You know, this would have been one hell of a matchup, and I think it's still going to be, man. VP have delivered throughout this this group so far, and this matchup is very important for them. If you're able to squeak a win past the heavy favorites of Gambit, you're in a real good spot.
Yeah, the map we never get to see between these two teams because it's always floating in the 5th map of a BO5 that Gambit ends just too soon. Fast out A. Kicker's going to have to give it up. Dink down. Inters chases. And Spawn to be taken here with this default plant. You need some real estate to play the post. Kicker waiting on. They're actually going towards jungle. Very dangerous move. This will leave the bomb up high and dry if VP retake from CT. Sanji, nice shot. He's got to clear close. Backing up. Trying to live. Trying to keep control as his team flood in. Buster's cleaned out Nafani and Spawn and Sanji. Any more? Fantastic shots. 3 kills. Good luck stopping this defuse Shiro. He gets deleted by Buster. No way back in there for Gambit. My goodness. That's a lovely retake from VP.
Really curious to see if we get to have a force buy from the get-go. It's a clean little pistol round for VP. Sanji as well, lighting them up, man, making it look clean. I love this.
P2K in 2021.
P2K, yeah,
right, yeah,
big P2K fans.
Feels good, man. Feels very good.
It's the unskinned P2K. Part of me even wonders, like, you know, I've done it where you sell a skin or whatever, defaults back to the P2K. Sanji just realized, oh, well, I'll wreck him. But look, the force buy is in for Gambit. Galils, AKs, Deagle. I mean, y'all have eyes, but I'll say it anyway. And, you know, they're slowly taking this mid control. And actually, VP are being pretty respectful towards mid. They're not fighting for it. And they're actually 4 stacked, 4 leaning towards this A bomb site. Gambit out of the gate looking like they wanted to split A, right? Especially with the presence of this late lurk of Hobbit out through Palace. But his role is pretty flexible here, right? You could, if you don't like what you see at A, try to make this a B split after all by deep smoking Con, which is what we see getting thrown over now. And that's going to give you a lot of options. You're either going to push up behind this Con smoke and try to get in around the smoke to stairs, or you fast split short and you use Hobbit as a guy to cut down rotations. I imagine it's going to be largely based on what success they find. And with nothing really, you know, no hints getting dropped that this site is stacked, they are moving in to the 4-man stack in A. Oh. Damage done from Hobbit. But all this is going to do is reinforce the idea that this is the A play now. And Buster swinging out from low is good for a double. Oh, making a third. There's not a trade in sight. Hobbit cannot find him. Elusive as ever as Buster's hidden away. Nafani comes in late, has retrieved an AK, but might die on the attempt to pick it up. And there's James locking in that frag. Just the low HP Hobbit left, and oh baby, that nade almost signs his death certificate. Hobbit's out of there, saving the Galil. That's not as big a victory as it might seem. That's going to cause a lot of weirdness to the early money in this game for Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you get more in the follow-up round than you ever would have had, but like you said, it just delays your buys and it causes problems in that regard. It's only valuable, really, if you win the round with it the next round, and easier said than done. Lovely hold out of Buster as well, and yeah, VP, they had that 4-man stack on A. Gambit never knew. All they saw was Yakinda up in jungle, who was tagged up, and Buster under Balg. As soon as Hobbit tries to swing to get Buster out of position, there's a double CT hold there to stop that exact play. So nice read out of VP. You'd think that even like Yakinda, Molly, and Connector would be scary, because you don't want Gambit to be dragged away from that A site, but it sells it even harder. Gambit walk right into the stack, and now it's just pistols. Hobbit has to do everything and then some. Nafani's got flashes on ramp, so Hobbit goes Palace. Can lob really high flashes there, but VP are expecting a mid-crunch. See nothing in the early round. Eventually going to have to concede A, but with no smokes up for Gambit, VP can just fight the crossing players. Bombs ramp, it's got to get into the site. Easier said than done. Under-spotted by Yakinda. And the A player about to attack.
Oh no, Inters, first man in, first man to fall, always the way. Little bomb dropped is like a fake flash, but it's not worked out, James. Looking to fight these pistols. And they will lock it in. 3-0 for VP. They get the conversions. And as mentioned, because of that earlier on save out of Hobbit, like, the money's weird, man. Like, this isn't really what you wanted at all. Look at him. He's broke, and everyone else is investing. That's fine. You know, he can retrieve a gun at some point in the round, or you can play him as, like, this fast guy to try and go in first. But when I think of Hobbit, that's not really what we see from him. He's often on these lurks. So, yeah, we'll elect instead to go for the rifle and, you know, bring the Galil into play.
Still going quick. Orb looking for an early frag, and the molly hasn't ticked him, so they don't know. Shiro attacks. It's James to trade the kill as he tries to run back through the flames. Disallowed. VP keep their AWP. Hobbit might try and grab one instead, but not known to it be an AWPer.
I love clashes of Shiro and James because I feel like they both kind of want to outdo the other because they're very similar AWPers, you know, like in terms of they're quite save heavy. They're often like the clutches of the team, the guys left in those 1vx's. But then, like, when you get them going head-to-head, it feels like it's almost personal, you know? Like, they want to show, like, no, I'm the big deal.
Both taking early fights as well.
And that's kind of somewhat uncharacteristic.
More of James than Shiro. But yeah, it's exciting. It's a cool head-to-head. James rerouted, and look, there's no one here to stop him. If he peeks Con, it's 3 kills, mate. Yakindar checking middle, sees nothing. Will they consider the possibility these players are already in position? James, oh, he misses the timing. The com's going to be made, though. Yakindar's on the backstab. He's on the flank, and he sees them in the A site. Axel dead. Hobbit has taken that AWP on ramp, but bomb is in spawn, and Sanji's about to find it. Yakinda's just fighting. James got the cover. Sanji's got the round in the palm of his hand. Knife out. Everyone gives up. Goes back. Respects the other side. Because really, on Sanji's side, he knows that there's nothing Hobbit can do getting the bomb there, and he's got the info now. It's late. Inters is in A, but where are you going to go from here? Probably save.
Oh, woof. That is a rough way for this one to go. And yeah, I mean, it's all on the back of that spot. Like, when Hobbit sees that as well, the penny drops for Gambit, and they go, oh, they know we're A. They know we're fully committed. They know that there's no, you know, essence of illusion here. They've cleared the whole other side of the map. So we're walking in to at least a 2-on-3. But with Sanji no longer being there, you're worried that he's gone and reinforced that A site as well. So they just write it off. Yeah, this is a really convincing start out of VP. This is really nice stuff. I did get a little health update on Gambit and what's going on there. So they messaged me this morning and they said, you know, you can talk about this if you want. Apparently, Hobbit had a really bad flu recently and is only just barely recovered. But they COVID tested everyone. Not COVID, don't worry. We're all good. Hobbit's fine. Axel also has food poisoning. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that hurts.
Food poisoning's rough, man. Food's really good. I don't know if that's a
and poisoning is really bad.
Poisoning's bad.
Yeah.
And so when you put good and bad together, you get bad. Right? It's not a double negative.
Yeah. Sending our well wishes to the Gambit players then. Never fun in the middle of a tournament, but hey, the tournaments never stop, man. They only start. Game to game, event to event. Got to do what you can. Gambit. Let's see what they can do with these extenuating circumstances. VP right now, I mean, regardless of this situation for Gambit, VP have looked good in the group so far, and that has been reassuring after a bit of a slow fall off in the middle half of the year, post Cato Blues. And so, yeah, it's good to see VP back in form right now, looking for a 5th round, a clean half. Gambit trying to pop B. That flash delays them. The spot comes in for Sanji. Gun out. Now he's ready, trying to dodge the preemptive flashbangs. Axel needs to cross in, and Sanji executes him. Give this man a rifle. He'll do a lot with it. Smoke behind him. Will they go through? They know he's here. Nafany does finish the job on low health. Down to 1. They line up, and James doesn't care. Killing Inters off the car. It's a retake for VP, a man up.
Kicker and James over here in the market. There's a late rotate out of Buster, but he is coming in, throwing that smoke over the top to try and get them out.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's a nifty little smoke. Gets these players out through the market door. So you hope. That's the design, but you got to get past Hobbit to make that happen. There's one for Hobbit, and he's out of there, right? Now, the bomb is not planted for short, so Hobbit still is, and he's got to come back. Yeah,
James
he realizes.
Just chilling, though. James he's chilling, man.
Yeah.
All right, Buster, you die with the bomb. I'll save the orb.
Well, that's one way for it to go, you know.
It's very James-esque, that round. Well done for Hobbit.
See, it's rounds like that, right, where I just sometimes, because, okay, people think I don't like VP. That couldn't be further from the truth. I really admire
You hate them.
I really admire the very unique style that they play and how percentage-based it is. But sometimes I think, in rounds like that where you're 3-on-2, you have an advantage and you have the smoke out through door to get you into the site. If someone, namely James, because he was the guy there, had swung that to try and trade the short kill, the only place that you can get stopped from coming out from market, that was a very winnable round. It's just a bit of a shame because sometimes I think, there's a lot of what-if moments for VP where you go, oh, what if they did attempt that retake in, the proper, fully-fledged fashion. But the thing with James is, it's always hard to make that case because now he still has the AWP, and I have no doubt he's going to get off to some tremendous start with it, and it could have been lost had they gone for the site take and potentially, kind of ruin the money of VP.
So many if, buts, and maybes. But essentially what we're saying there is, James, reliant on his players making, his opponents making a mistake of peeking, and I think Gambit know that better than anyone, right? They're just going to lock into their post plants on B. It's a bit of a shame to see a dropped round, but Gambit are on the board, and we won a competitive series after all. A couple of flawless players still up here for VP. Nades in middle, dodged by Nafany, going wide off the smoke. Luckily had the top mid smoke down as a bit of cover towards window. Kinder's back in position. Jay Morping CT watching it kick it to ramp. He's very exposed towards Palace on an off angle, but Inters is in no hurry as Gambit default towards middle. Sanji looking into the wall, admiring the textures, playing anti-flash on B. And they're just waiting for Gambit to make that first move. It has to happen eventually. Util's been used, a lot of it. One smoke remains down on ramp. Shira's lobbing over flashes to set his team out A, though. This will be the A split. Bombs out the ramp. Yakinda drops the first man in middle, but he won't make it much further. Kicker backed up on default. Jane won't be able to get the cover, but they're not on Kicker yet. He's cleaned up the connector split. Now you know it's all coming from this ramp and Palace position, and Kicker's just been domed by Inters.
Yeah, Jane back in CT. Likely doesn't want to fight this, right? It is kind of waiting for this cold player to draw the attention away. That could have been big for Buster. He's helped out by Sanji, and Buster goes straight through that smoke.
Love that 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And, that's like an example of James doing the numbers-based play that's perfect. That is an ideal time for it. A 3-on-3. Well, if you weren't willing to attempt a 3-on-2, you understand not facing in an even odds bout. If you lose CT, then that round spirals out of control. You're restricting where they can plant the bomb just by being alive, and so it forces that plant, open out in the open towards connector, towards jungle, and that actually gives the ability for those two players in Sanji and Buster to play off of one another.
Yeah, it feels like that smoke came very late for Shiro as well. He's throwing flashes to get them out ramp, but the con smoke lands after Buster's already taking fights. Yeah, he just goes right through. He doesn't care about it anyway, but he might not have got that first kill if the smoke was down a few seconds earlier. And when you see the top con smoke on an execute and you don't see stairs, for example, you just know they're lacking utility, and that's why Sanji's able to, I think it was Sanji, come in through jungle and just fight from window as well. VP have so many different avenues of attack into that A-bomb site, never letting Gambit get comfortable, get situated, and like you said, get the plant with Jane back in CT as well. So good round out of VP. It's going to put Gambit on Deagles for now, and VP trying to read ahead, stack 3 on the B-bomb site.
Yeah, this makes sense. You haven't really seen too much B action. The one round that Gambit have is over towards B, and the money's low. So you're anticipating, okay, they might go back to where they found success. B is the optimum site to rush when you're only on these Deagles.
Yeah, and jump spotting, Kicker was holding a Molotov ready to go in B, but Sanji doesn't need help. He has looked really good in these couple of games for VP, has Sanji individually, right? There was talk of him being on this chopping block, but rarely with a rifle. Hobbit removes one, and Nafany's followed up onto the AWPer. Walking out smokes on the A site has done great work for Gambit, and Inters has followed up off of one of these B rotates. Your A site was already weak, and now it's lost. Kicker trying to regain some control. Molotov in, but it does nothing. They've already crossed out towards default, and the open plant may decide the round for VP. They're going to give it a go. They know they're more well-armed. They know the AWP is still irretrievable, but Shiro's got a rifle for now.
Yeah, this is spiraled madly out of control. Kicker, Sanji, trying to do the impossible. There's one. Shiro dead, but this player in the site isn't going to peek you, isn't going to swing you. And on the back of that, VP will just likely have to bow out and concede this one. So with the pistols, Gambit, they're able to get it over the line. Yeah, laughing all the way to the bank. That's the round you're able to find. Where's the AWP? Oh, they can't find it. I know, I'd hate to be the guy that couldn't. Oh, no, there it is. Nice kicker. Nice! The bomb blew it out of wherever it ended up.
Life finds a way. Great deagles, though. That's a round out of nowhere for Gambit. That's one they should never be taking. And just 3 deagles in the space of 5 seconds across the entire map. When you're one deagle an AWPer who's holding your angle, woo! That's when you know you're having a good day. Gambit, second round taken at least. Let's see what they can do with that. Inter's on the MAC-10. It's a B rush. It's a full, fast, right through the Molotov, right ahead of it. In fact, it's coming in too late. MAC-10 makes it by. Sanji trying to hold on to the bomb site, but he's been mollied as well. James even scoped up from Market, but VP not even going to get a kill as the players cross to the bomb site. This will possibly make things a 5-on-5 retake if they can get that plant. That would be very uncomfortable, and it's getting worse by the second.
Oh, well, Busters trade through the smoke. That might entice you back in. And they throw Jame up over this boost. Only has a small window of opportunity to find anything from it, and that window is now closed. Instead, scoped up on the short side. Yakindar's wrapping through lower. VP, they're boxed up, they're looking to make this happen, but after losing the first man, they needed something to entice them back in, and that equalizer from Kicker maybe is it, but every time you get a kill, Gambit are in with a response. Kicker's going into the Lion's Den, but he's dead, and Jame back in the market is out of there. Gambit up onto 3.
Yeah, that one's a lot more reasonable.
No, that is more reasonable, right? Like, you were never in a point where you had the advantage. It was always getting traded back against you. You're fighting against a tide that's working against you.
Oh.
Jame doesn't get to save this time around. That AWP is removed from play.
No money for it. Yeah, that's an unlucky round for VP. They were setting up for a mid-take from short. They pushed both their B players up catwalk, and then they heard the B-rush. It's not like Gambit were quiet about it. They ran the entire way. Those mollies come in, but by that point, there were already players in the bomb site. And, you know, we saw that push up Edward for Nafni getting the first kill. When VP are a man down, or if any team's a man down, locked out of a B play like that, you're going to have trouble getting back in. Gambit's bomb plant was so delayed as well. I don't know if they faked it or maybe got off the plant too early, but none of that enticed VP back in. Just too many players holding crossfires in the post plant. So Gambit, more than happy on Mirage, getting some T rounds on the board after all, and this one will be the easiest of them. Full broke for VP. Oh, Yakinda, he's had enough. He's just bought up a rifle. Fair play. Maybe Sanji will buy him next, but even he got below 2K.
Yeah,
I wonder what VP are planning, but I assume they've done the maths. This is a cool boost. We saw G2 use this the other day, I think it was, and very nice way to catch players coming up catwalk. Gambit aren't there, though. They're in lower, and they're going to spam this one. You can see, it knows what's the trick of the trade.
He caught a foot there.
Get out of there where you can.
Yeah, safe bet. It's kind of nice when you hear the A1S spamming, you go, okay, we don't have to wait long before he has to get the reload off, and then we can all get the hell out.
Nice.
But it was still scary for a moment. The slow round out of Gambit. They're trying to get in the heads of VP, and VP have lent heavy in towards this A bomb site. Gambit might have poised in the apartments early on, but this isn't necessarily a B play, right? The bomb's still in a nice neutral position in top mid. They're working this mid control first. I can't imagine they're keen to just blindly commit to a site. Trying to get a bit of a feel for what VP are doing. You've seen a lot of these stacks, right? Triple B leans, quad A leans have been a pretty common occurrence so far. But eventually they will decide they like what they see. They get this mid control. They've gotten up through the connector, not faced on the approach. And so with this real estate taken, the time is now to try and move into A.
Oh, Yakinda, would he go ahead of this? Yeah, he has full faith. Needs to put this gun to good use, but it's only one kill. Deagle will do. James forced out by a Molotov. Buster's having a round, though. Shiro, AWP v Deagle. We've seen them favor the Deagle before. Can Buster keep up that scoreline? No, Shiro swapped out to the AK to reign supreme in 15 seconds. He can plant default. Will Sanji give him the room? Backed up right now, playing that clock. Reload comes in, it had to. 3 bullets now. Full mag, ready to fight, ready to win the round. And Sanji, the clock was against him, or in his favor rather, but Shiro locks him out. Don't think Sanji expected the full swing out of Shiro. Forget the plant, we want the frags. And so Gambit, they just about get it done. Not pretty. It was only eco after all. You see why VP put money in. But my oh my, does Shiro come out with another clutch. Exactly what we expect. Yeah, that hurts. The last thing you expected.
Yeah, man, it's rough. I mean, you know, you thought you'd kind of pulled the wool over their eyes. You'd come in with a surprising round, but no. Snuffed out at the last hurdle by Shiro. And he's not even bringing the AWP into play here. Instead electing for full rifles on the side of Gambit. Maybe that gives Jame a little more freedom. We'll have to wait and see. Smokes down in middle, cutting off both connector and window again. This has really been the bread and butter of Gambit so far.
Yeah, the cool thing is, Yakinda's left with no util, but he bought down to 850 last round. He got 1 kill, and that enabled him to buy another A1S with Kevlar. No helmet, but that's fine, AKs. And no util, which is less than ideal, but it's still a factor, right? Those cheaper A1Ss are always appreciated. Buster, oh my god, they're right there.
Ooh, on the swing, he falls at the hands of Nafany. Jame will reclaim one of these kills, and there's the wrap for Sanji and his MP9. Always good for something on these SMGs is Sanji. Can he get any more? The molly heats things up for him. Drive by, he spots Shiro. One of the players in market trying to get an angle, and it will be Kicker to secure that. Just Nafany left, and Yakindar and the rest of VP are keen to collapse upon him. And that's a nice put-together B-hold there, right? Even though you lose Buster on short, the rotations are damn near immediate. Jame comes in with that key frag, you know, to pull it back into the favor of VP, and also draws the attention away from Sanji. Like, it's a real kind of little double positive for VP having that AWP chime out. They're so focused on trading that market player that they're just not ready for the MP9 up in the site.
Yeah, even just waiting in truck there buys even more time for VP to just run out market and chase you down. Every second counts at this level. Shiro doesn't want to be sitting around waiting for a fight that's never going to appear. Gambit have to bring the fear to VP. Good flashes in middle though. Top mid molly as well. Kinder's got a gap for lower, but he can't do much about top mid. Leaving that to Buster. Jame AWPing A has hit Inters. There's still Shiro's AWP backed up in there. Will they ask for a swap? Sometimes not. Just letting Shiro run his weapon. Oh, so risky. Mostly dodges the nade. He sees a couple of players there as well, and he didn't even see the AWP. He knows that's also in window. There's good info here right now for Gambit on this A lead, and that's probably why the bomb's going all the way back. Making up its mind right now. Hobbit's out Tetris. He can sell this. He can hear a lot of noise towards Connector as well. And VP have fallen hook, line, and sinker. They've moved a third player over to A. Jame has completely changed spots on the B bomb site, swapping out. Buster's up on short, also having a great game. Going to need to show that in this round as Gambit get ready to explode. That's going to sell it though. Keeping players on A. James about to figure out the hard way.
Oh yeah, with the AWP. Ooh, that's a tag as well. Buster's here to help him, and yeah, man, this little wombo combo in B, this is a terrifying stack to run into. Shiro will nail Jame in the head-to-head, but Buster holds on. He refuses to let you into his B bomb site, and now drawing the attention away from Kicker, only lets them succeed further. Hobbit too far away to play into this round. And so it will be VP up onto 7. Nothing that Hobbit can do or say about it. Yeah, you can admire that he still made his way over, but he knows, you know, that he can't win this round. So there's 7 on the board. Great stuff from that double hold over towards the B bomb site. I got to say, Hobbit's probably one of my favorite lurkers right now. I think he often gets away with a lot. It's just a bit of a shame because sometimes you see rounds like that happen, and that's not Hobbit. That's more like lurking as a whole, right? Like, if your team don't actually get into the site, then you are just left looking like the fool at the end going, oh, I'm 1-on-2 and I can't win. But he's always so good at applying pressure away from the team. Like, he gets that A opener, and then he just hangs around, like, knowing that he's causing problems. He's causing frustration. Keep your eye out for Hobbit, man. He's super keen on these lurk rolls. Inferno's another one for him that I absolutely adore. You know, he gets away with absolute murder over in the apartments there. He's just so good at operating alone. It's kind of scary, the consistency that he comes out with there.
Yeah, VP are starting to find more form towards B at least. I like that James is also rotating a lot with this AWP, not being caught out stagnant as a CT but can't really be in the current meta. Lots of teams, or lots of people just avoiding an AWP as soon as they get that info. You got to keep them guessing. You saw those mind games yesterday with Spirit's AWP on Dexter. And Namiga, you know, making the call to walk into AWPs knowing they've likely rotated. Gambit, though, just this one save gun. Surrounded by Glocks. Hobbit needs to do the impossible on his own. He's out chair already. Up in Palace, rather. He's actually walked out. James ready, though. He did just fire off towards middle. Quick turn. Not going to follow up. They're chasing him from Con. Yakinda needs to cover. James doesn't need it. Hits a shot. Yakinda doubles up and kick it there to keep the A site clean. It's 8-4 and a nice 5 alive round for VP to keep that money flowing. Gambit looking for scraps at the end of the half, but they can still close the gap. They've got room to do so. Shiro earlier turned down the AWP, didn't want it. Well, now it's not an option. Got to stick with a flat AK buy here. You're going to be limited in util as well, and maybe that's where the dropping nades comes in handy, right? Getting your nades on the right players, making sure the supportive elements get to have the flashbangs. So what have Gambit cooked up for this one?
Oh, fast through middle. Real change of pace out of them. Yakinda was not ready for that. And with Buster dead over towards B, you've removed some very big players from the get-go in this round. And you know that in a round like this, James is going to be playing like extra safe as well, right? So you're kind of feeling pretty confident about this one, knowing that at most you're going to be running into like one player, maybe with a passive AWP to support them. So they're looking at all in B. And I can't say I blame them. Buster has been the real driving force of this B hold. And with him knocked out of the round, you know, we're looking at Sanji and we're saying, mate, like you need 3 here. And even then, I don't know if that would entice VP to go for this. Oh. Dead right away. This is a save if you've ever seen one. Gambit up onto 5. They take 2 fights at the beginning of that round, like immediately. One in the apartments on Buster getting aggressive. That one was a fight that came to them. And it's all because of that early engagement. Fast to Yakinda and Con. VP are feeling the pressure. They need to retake some map control to make up for a lost man early. Yeah, and it only digs the hole deeper, right?
If you're VP, you've had like a lot of respect in the early round. Like you've never been getting mid takes. James, I guess the realization for Gambit there is James has never been starting off mid. Maybe he'll play stairs and cross con with a spawn, but he'll never be, you know, fighting window or he hasn't gone for any cap boost or early peaks there either. So you know James likely back in a bomb site, and Gambit just abused that run right into connector. Oh, Kick it's so lucky, man. The spam doesn't connect, not enough at least. And yeah, Yakinda's caught throwing grenades out Con. Perfect pace change for Gambit. And even when they went for B eventually, they grouped up after these first 2 kills. Those rounds are still losable if you walk into the double setup. You know one site has 2 players on at least, right? If they're not just fully gambled to a 3-0 and risking it. But Inters is lobbing from Palace, Molotovs into A. He's just trying to fake the A site out, and that kept James there, which was enough to force the save from VP. That at least they get away with. Yakinda has cover from the box, so Spam won't do it. The barrel could give him away post smoke. So he's got to get the kills or get out quick. He tries to, but Hobbit's walked through. Been all over under. 2 more Con players, but Molly's going to force some respect. They don't want to be forced into middle and taken out from the top as well. Lots of players in mid right now for Gambit. Hobbit's jumping up in tandem with a nade. So I don't know if they heard him there. They're going to be aware of the chance. Always could silent boost. Kicker's holding the smoke, but these ones can let you down at the worst of times.
Oh, James went in with a molly. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, good move.
Yeah, nice little bit of movement from Hobbit to stay alive. That was all designed to burn him out and enable that kill. But he's lived to tell the tale. He's kept the 5-on-4 in favor of Gambit. Buster's up close over here towards Con. They haven't been used to facing him here, but Axile finds him through the lip of that smoke. James does what he can, but is it going to be enough? That bomb out in the open, the molly gets him off the angle, and that secured you safe passage into the bomb site. This is probably a save round for VP. You know, 2-on-4, odds heavily against you, and you're going to favor having something to respond with in this follow-up round. So you just got to give Gambit the respect, but they ain't giving you any. Hobbit is looking to remove both these guns from play on a late lurk in through the apartments.
The opener and the closers for Hobbit, at least that's what he hopes. No one's peeking him, though. Double market setup, he's going to have to drop, and he knows he wants to clear as many angles as he can before he makes sound cues into the site. Jumps along. Oh, it's very close. Sanji didn't see him, but did he hear him? Hobbit might have some exits here, and there's no money for VP. This would make a lot of difference, but Sanji's held on, and luckily James got a bit of bank to drop over. We will get some sort of buy here for the final round of the half from VP, but Gambit are having their second win. They're showing something on this T side after all. It was a slow start. Hobbit's been getting away with a lot, though. And I don't know how he lives in that window play as well. You know Kicker wanted to take the fight, but James is calling for the Molotov, and Kicker maybe expecting, you know, that window player to swing him. Hobbit just jumps out and lives. Even with a position switch-ups from Buster on A, getting caught by Axel jumping up on the con boost. Nice shot from Shiro to start, and now we've got Gambit flowing even further, getting picks like that given to them. That's what got them back in the half in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes when you see Buster over towards A, it means James lent B early in the round, right? That's so often been the case. If they're switching it up, that's often the kind of tell that you get. So Gambit is slowly but surely piecing together what the look of this round was early, and the fact that they're sat in this 5-on-4 now, they can pump the brakes for a moment, start to make VP doubt themselves, maybe get in their own head, maybe overcompensate one of these bomb sites. And also, you know, and you've seen this already, that VP will look to regain map control if they go a man down. So you're holding, waiting to see what peaks you're given, waiting to see if you can, you know, give VP enough rope to hang themselves, as it were.
Oh, Yakinda heard the bench jump. Sanji's been told, watch your window, I'm here to help. Yakinda steals the glory. Sanji can get an upgrade as well if he wants, but he's sent back to the B site with his tail between his legs. Doesn't even get that AK for free. Obviously, the fear of ladder being taken is also there. VP don't have time to worry themselves. They just have to deal with this A play. Kicker pushed out by a Molotov. Con player trying to backstab. Yakinda should have this on lock. Hobbit's still smoked off. Meanwhile, Bomb is grouping back at B. We know, like you said, James is likely here. We haven't heard him on A. There's only 15 seconds, though, and Sanji's giving away nothing. He's in a bench position to deny a bomb plot. How the hell are you supposed to do this if you're Gambit?
Oh my God.
Even James shocked. They're both leaving.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird. Okay,
Sanji's won the round.
Oh, Sanji's got it. There it is. The round-winning kill, and that is secured. A 9-6 half for VP. Gambit tried to slip one past them with the last second play. I think it was wishful thinking, and that there has secured a 3-round lead for VP, moving in to that second half of play.
Hey Future Pros, we have another execute for you and your friends to learn. This execute will help when you are taking the B site on Mirage. For this setup, you will need at least 3 Future Pros and 3 smokes and optionally a bunch of flashes. Let's break this down. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing one of the arch smokes. To do this, line yourself up with this corner of the cracked stone floor. Aim at the left side of this dark squarish smudge on the wall, then simply jump throw the smoke. Since you threw this from close to mid, I would recommend wrapping around cat to get to B or maybe holding off rotations in mid. Future Pro number 2, you will throw the other arch smoke. To do this, line up with the middle part of this window. Aim to the sky and position your crosshair so it is in the middle of the antenna and the overhang. Then throw the smoke normally. Future Pro number 3, you will be smoking off the window leading into the B side. To throw the smoke, get yourself into this corner. Aim at the corner of this large tower, then jump throw the smoke. Nice and easy. With all 3 of these smokes thrown, taking the B side should be much easier than it would be without them. To make this even easier on your team, get your players to lob as many flashes as possible over the top of B. And as always, good luck.
One more
Jungle.
Тема.
Я давлю.
White jungle. Минус.
Бомба дефолт.
Тупая,
Тупая
сразу,
житя.
тупая.
Тупая нет, тупая нет.
Я дефузил.
Минус убил.
Хорош. Хорош.
Есть красный.
Нет, красный.
Хорош.
Минус.
Искра, искра.
Сима.
Авик, возьми.
Молодец, постараюсь.
Хороший гол, блядь. Молодец.
Упал, ушел. Под тигу стоит.
Все, нет
Хорош.
времени. Нет времени.
Хорош!
Songs in a helpful hand.
A slow start on Gambit's T side, but they find the bare necessities at least, getting 6 rounds on the half of Mirage. But you want to talk slow T sides, you're in the right place at the right time. VP swapping over to that second half. We're going to see if they can close out this BO1. A very important match right now here in the CIS RMR. Both these teams, the only team still flawless in Group B. And only 2 spots out of each group to go through to that next stage. Oh my god, quite a B stack. 4 players at Gambit making the little read as Hobbit sits back on A alone. You need the kit for this kind of round, and so Nafany has supplied us. VP though, they want nothing to do with B. It's a crawl out under, mid splitting into the A site.
Oh yeah, Hobbit. I mean, I said he does some of his best work alone, but like this round, he's really got to go above and beyond that. He's hiding in the bench smoke. The first shots have whiffed, and now they know about him. Hobbit, oh my god, he's got 2 bullets and 4 enemies to find. The maths just doesn't check out. 4 on 4. Kindar holding for the short rotate is bested by Axile in the head-to-head, and this bomb is now fighting in jungle. They're looking to try and deal with this window player and maybe even duck out towards B. This fight matters so much, and Jame will win it out. That bomb is going back to A, like we all expected.
Hey, they've already got
Yeah,
Sanji out from ramp,
Sanji's
right?
here.
Yeah, but that's a surprise to Gambit. They're locked out completely by the smoke. Bomb can go down for that CT spawn that VP have full control of. It's a retake, wrapping round through spawn for Shiro. It's a long way, and he has to start walking early as well if he doesn't want to be heard. Even running through Palace here, he's going to get noise cues for Sanji. Oh, that's weird. Kick and catching. Axel jumping through the murder hole. There's 2 players, they line up. Oh, almost a dead man. Kicker almost got both of them killed. Instead, it's just Jame, the sacrificial lamb. And now Shiro, he's got to burn their bush, getting out into the A site. Kits drop down in the jungle. No hope, no chance.
Yeah, and if you got a burning bush, I think they make a cream for that. VP up onto 10. Just rubbing it in. Sanji gonna lock in that final one. Double digits secured now for Virtus.pro, and if they're able to land these conversions, they are right where they want to be, Hugo.
Very weird round, very strange, very confusing, and VP, I'm actually really liking the CS we're getting out of this team. You know, I think they all know it's on the line as well, right? The talks of potential roster changes, you know, dependent on the major qualification, and a very, not only difficult group, but a group reliant on other teams making mistakes. Well, Fours have at least supplied us with that, right? Going 0-2 down. But, you know, K23 as well, in that same vein, VP managed to beat them. Very scary game, though. And all these things, plus VP playing well against number 2 in the world right now and simultaneously the top of the group. All these things look good for VP in their run to PGL.
Yeah, this is a huge matchup for the VP guys, right? Because, like, let's be real. In this group, Gambit are, like, you know, meant to be their main competition.
Yeah.
So if you squeak a win past them here, it is only going to help your case to, you know, get out of groups, make top 4. And that's what VP need to do if they want to be at the major. And not everyone has the luxury of being a Na'Vi, where, like, even if you did catch some uncharacteristic L's, you can still say, oh, well, at least we're there, right? It might not be like legend status, but at least we're there. Even then, they haven't been in the business of catching L's at this event. Axile, dead on the swing, and that's one of these 4-sport MP9s out of the round right away.
Yeah, still a heavy ramp setup with the player in sandwich as well, but VP are actually bailing. They're actually dropping out of Palace and resetting to ramp. Hobbit's pushed up. He hears all of this, but he can't pick a side, can't pick a target. Buster's here to clean him up with a player coming from above. Hobbit needed anything there, and without it, the round is going to fall apart at the seams. 4 kills for Inters. It's a quiet one. There's no one really for Gambit saving the day, right? Not even the double-digit player this deep in the game. It seems like a bit of a slow start for Gambit, and even though they had some rounds at the end of the T side, they're running out of options. It's all going to rely on that first gun round, which is still delayed by one more. So a little eco coming up for Gambit. Meanwhile, VP looking to go 12-6 up before things even get hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is where, like, if you're either of these teams, you're kind of thankful that both K23 and 4s have started off slow, you know? Like, because it does give you that little bit more breathing room on this fight to the top.
Yeah, I will say as well, you know, this shouldn't be a massive surprise, but there have been some surprises. I think in, you know, a team like 4's going 0-2 is kind of shocking a bit. But Spirit, man, they've been here at this RMR taking names. They have dropped, what is it? 11 rounds in 3 BO1s.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Think about that. I know the level of competition.
Well, yeah, so like obviously Ave and Akuma are like more, but like even the fact that, you know, Namiga only managed to post 4 rounds, I think that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
but obviously that's over in Group A, right? So
it's the 3 teams that were never really going to make it out of the group anyway, but it's still impressive for Spirit. Just coming in, looking dominant. Because Na'Vi, they've won all the games, but they've been damn close, man. 16-13 versus Ave, 16-14 for the other 2 teams they've played in Namiga on Nuke. But almost having their win streak broken twice, but almost still doesn't count, Harry. The dub is all that matters. VP are looking for it. This one should be free, at least.
Yeah, you know, it's like when I tell people, like, I almost beat Pimp in a 1v1. It's like, well, I didn't, though, right? That's the key takeaway.
Wow, some humility from you, Harry. I thought we'd see the day.
It wasn't a tiny mouse pad and mouse.
Ah, yeah, well, you know, sometimes you should DM me your
1600
excuses
DPI.
later.
Oh, that's a good idea. Man. So this is just the little anti-eco, right? Not much exciting should happen here. And with Gambit stacking B and the bomb going A, you should very quickly be able to work out the problem there. Not that there was much stake in this round for Gambit. So VP are up on a 12. And Hugo, you made the point that first rifle round matters a hell of a lot. You really cannot afford to lose this next round if you're Gambit, or else this game is slipping away from you incredibly quickly.
Oh, pre-fired. That's just gross. That's so dirty. Yakinda makes the MAC-10 look like a laser beam. And Sanji uses his laser beam to remove Hobbit. It's a nice clean one. It always was meant to be. And now, here's that gun round that you talk about. Shiro's Orb immediately purchased. No fear. No question about it. But yeah, now or never. Oh, that last bullet. Here we go. Still a bonus round for VP if you want to make that argument. 2 Galils, no orb. They're not complaining, though.
Yeah, Shiro will have his out, and I hope he can hit the ground running with it, right? Because although we've had a couple of clutch rounds out of him when he's traded onto the AK, we've had a couple of openers as well that were pretty instrumental to Gambit finding the rounds they have. It's still been relatively quiet as far as Shiro games go, right? And with how instrumental he kind of felt to providing these openers in that first half of play, I hope we can see his best face put forward to begin this second half, especially when you don't have to worry about the AWP on the other side. He's scoped up for a Palace peak, but as CS would dictate, when the push comes in, he will not be there.
Little B fakey. Won't sell much. It's drawn a third player over. Now a con smoke from top mid means Yikinda can regroup as this Palace pop comes in. Hobbit needs every frag here and he can't even get one. Nafany in front of the smoke. Gonna have to respect it. He gets a con smoke as well. He could try and hide on the edge of this maybe, but no one's crossed into default yet. That much he knows, but he can only stop one. Good trade work out of VP. The spacing is looking nice and they have plenty of time, meaning plenty of room for error, that of which there is none. Oh, the nade, it could have, if that went out first, it could have stopped the bomb plant, but he throws it very high. Instead, Kicker gets out with 20 health, and Axel moves in for the kill.
Yeah, James even, this isn't a preemptive save, don't worry. He's wrapping all the way to middle to come in and play around this bomb. Axel getting out into the site isn't being given a fight. And I love the way that VP play these, bro. Like you're looking for a way back in. Gambit are going like, please, we want to attempt the retake. Somebody fight me. And no one will. No one will. You walked all the way in. You were practically touching the bomb, but no one is giving you that fight to tip the scales and let the retake happen. And that is the beauty of this Virtus.pro Counter-Strike.
And you can't cause any commotion there either. Not only do you have no kit, you have no smoke. It's not like you can tap the bomb in a smoke, force everyone to spam, and that's how you suddenly grab kills out of nowhere while VP are occupied. Like, even tapping the bomb there for Axel is going to force a double peek out of VP. You're just dead. And at that point, you realize, like, yeah, I'm not winning this round if I'm not getting given kills, and so we need to save. We need all three of these guns. It's fine. It means Gambit can fully rebuy, right? It's not worst case scenario, losing everyone and their 13th for VP. But yeah, you're running out of options. You won't be able to keep saving. You've got to get a win eventually, or it's just over. And right now, I'm never going to call a game, especially not with a Gambit CT side scoreline, but yeah, this is looking really good for VP.
Well, Buster and Axel have traded utility, and Yikinda has also been tagged down low. And Gambit humble VP. They've certainly done the groundwork to open up this round. Axel securing that opening kill and inflicting a lot of damage along the way. Nafany has even taken some liberties, creeping up through lower, and the timing is everything. Even though they go back to check it, it's a little too late. And so Nafany's gotten away with the frag, now dropping the bomb as well. This is an irrecoverable round for VP, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and they know Buster's here as well, or at least he was, right? He was smoking their mollies earlier on up top middle. So Gambit, that's a hell of a round to pull out of the hat. Felt like VP were just, I don't want to say getting ahead of themselves, but just trying to hunt that kill and B. They saw a jumping player, they try and chase him down. And at that point, it all just starts to crumble as VP are committed to a B play.
On top of that, right, like you had the early damage done to Buster and Yikinda, but the information that they gained was that the short player was facing mid, the com player was facing lower. And so I think you're anticipating that, like, there's a lot of attention on middle in that round. And so, the only kind of levity you have, the only kind of room you've been given is maybe over towards B, where there's this jump spotting player. You're assuming that, with short occupied on middle, you have that space to go and hunt down the B opener and try to cause that chaos that gets the attention off of your mid players, enables the B plant, but that never actually comes in. Axel had already backed away from short, and mid was entirely left to the player over towards con. So Gambit coming with a 7. They're not done with this yet. And it's a squeaky clean round at that. And that's what's perhaps most important, right? The last thing you want is when VP are on 13 rounds, well, they pick up one to get to 14 and you're broke, right? That's a horrible feeling when the money decides the game.
Yeah, not even just that, but the CT side money can be so suffocating in the sense of, like, sometimes you'll win a round and it'll be your first of the half and it will be, one alive, and then your follow-up buy will be
MP9.
It'll be even worse. It's like, damn, why did we even win the round? We would have got more if we kept up our max loss. Like, it's so painful sometimes in that sense. So luckily not an issue for Gambit yet. And now you start believing. Now you start warming back into this game, because suddenly 6 rounds, not that far apart. Buster is again trapped where he saved as he's stuck behind the top mid smoke. Are there any nades in middle to get him? No. They're both, or Hobbit with the only one is back in his bomb site. Can't drop it across the map. Nafany holding for under, and he's about to get given a little fight. Dropping out, though. You can heard that. Yeah, ready, but not ready enough. Nafany gets the drop on him. Now Buster kind of screwed, and he doesn't really know how screwed. 3 players fighting. The smoking window means Shiro has to rotate, and so James going to try and flash Buster back in. Don't let the X-ray elude you. It's very hard to see through that.
Oh, as the numbers dwindle and they all go untraded, I don't want to say it, but really, like, VP might just lean out of this round already because they've got no real estate. They've got no chance of trading this. In the same way that, like, VP won't fight you in a post plant, Gambit aren't going to give you kills to give you a reason to go for this round now. And so it is just a save. You know, that round is decided once those 2 kills come in. It was the attempt to trade, and when the attempt didn't land, their fate was signed, sealed, and delivered, really. And this is why we say, like, 6 rounds isn't a huge margin. That's not how it feels if you're VP. You can feel Gambit warming up into this. Once again, by the way, it's another 5 alive round, so, you know, we can stop homing in on the money so much for Gambit. It doesn't feel like it's going to decide their fate anymore. As far as, you know, these kind of score lines go, you're right where you want to be. You've got a nice bank of cash. You're in the heads of VP a little bit. You're forcing them to come up with solutions, and they can't seem to solve these problems. I'm not ready to write Gambit off just yet.
No, absolutely not. As soon as they got that first flawless gun round, suddenly you're believing again, and for good reason. These mid takes have been really nice out of Gambit, or stopping VP's mid takes, just keeping numbers there. This time they're going to lean back a little bit into their bomb sites, expecting more of an execute round. Smokes on A, contact B. And they're right in that. VP aren't really putting pressure on middle. It hasn't worked out for them. They're going to group back for an A smoke attack. That leaves Axel committed on Balk and Hobbit in the bomb site. Will he stay when he sees the smokes over, or will he just hang Axel out to dry and try and play retake with his team? Towing the line. Smoke's going over for VP, scared of spawn already. Never know where they're coming from. You never know how quick they can flank, but Gambit aren't making any moves yet. Orb for Shiro is out of the action right now. He can spam the smoke from short if he'd like to, but he's already begun his rotation. Smokes are in. Axel with the flash. Peeks Palace. They know where he is now. He's in hot water. They've even smoked the Molotov. Hobbit's only good for 1, and Axel's shot in the back. Kicker, good play to smoke that molly to get involved, and that's given VP some room.
Oh, there's a little gap, but Shiro doesn't need a lot of room. That's the bomb plant denied. 2 on 3. I mean, hell, if you're Gambit, that's reason enough to hang around and give this a look in. Nafany holds the line. Inters is a long way away, and Nafany is trying to make plays happen. But now it is left to Inters, who's had a bit of a rough one, had a bit of a nightmare. Winning this round could be the difference for Gambit. It could be the one that keeps the wind in their sails and stops VP from running away with this. Inters lots to do and not a lot to get it done with. No utility. The only thing on his side is that kit giving him an extra 5 seconds, and every second counts, but no peaks, little jiggles, little wiggles, but that's the extent of it. Just playing for time, just playing around this bomb. Kicker and Jay, masters of not peeking the 1v2. There's Inters with the first, but with Jay waiting up in Palace. There's the peek, there's the swing, and the round is locked in.
That's the perfect bait for James as well. He gives nothing. You know, like you got to give props to Kicker as well for jiggling and wasting so much time. Because even that jiggle, you know Kicker's not committing if you're Inters, and you know he's just baiting for James. You're expecting James to peek off of Kicker's info, but James knows I've got the perfect position with the bomb in my favor. If I don't give that info away, Inters cannot make a good play. He can't, you know, he's got to guess. He's just got to stick the bomb there with a few seconds left up, and that's just a perfect round out of James and Kicker.
And you know, like, I think clutches like that get so much harder when you're up against VP because, you know, like you say, if someone's jiggling you like that and they're trying to bait your attention, it's often to set up that second player to, like, come in and pincer it. But VP don't really subscribe to that mantra at all, and so you're always caught between 2 minds because, as we saw from guys like Kicker in that round where he smokes the Molotov and pushes through, they do occasionally do this aggro stuff. They do like the more meta, I guess, approach to the game. And then they can go back at, you know, at the flip of a switch to, like, the VP setup where you're not peeking, you're not giving anything. And so you're always in 2 minds as to how they're going to play those 2 VXs out.
Yeah, because, you know, you could look at it this way. Say Inters saw Kicker and just rushed him down. Like, yeah, James not going to peek me. I don't know where he is. And he rushed him down. He got that kill. He would have had time to fake. He would have had time to play with James, but he just didn't have the option. Kicker, oh, this is great for Hobbit. He knows there's another player with a Molotov, and Kicker hasn't cleared it. Oh, he turned. Hobbit still gets the kill. I'm surprised he pulls a smoke. Very risky, but James could not trade with the orb. And so Hobbit lives to fight another day. That's a terrifying round, but it's still going. James picked back up that bomb. Hobbit might go through. No, just trading. And now escapes with his life. Buster wants to remove it up in Palace, tucked as James was. We're seeing Gambit lean back towards A. They've once again made the read. Calls have been good. Axel holding safe towards Murder Hole, leaving Inters anchoring B. They've got faith in him, even if he's having a bit of a slow game. And there is a Molotov to clear out Sandwich, but you'd have to take the fight first. Hobbit is peeking Buster. He's got the info. Can he get the molly out, or does he just want to fight things? Sanji clearing. He's getting in very deep. Knows about CT as well. Maybe two on his plate. There's the first. Sanji won't swing the AWP. Shiro scoped up now. Axel has to let them cross, but the bomb's still stuck down on ramp.
Sanji doesn't want to fight the AWP. He's instead looking for this jungle player, but James going to be the guy to lock that one in. Up through Khan is Inters, but he's not able to stop the bomb. Runs out of ammo on the A1S. James now holding it, fighting this out in the open. While Buster makes this long rotation. James trying to get out of there, trying to get out of danger. Knows his angles, knows where they're coming from now as well, and he's trapped in the sandwich. How's James going to engineer a way to break up these fights into 1v1s? Buster decides to not commit to the wrap round, tucks in at ramp instead. They do beat James. Buster, his shots, nails the second onto Inters, and time is running out for Shiro. He just doesn't have enough in his day. He's out of there, and VP are on to 15. Gambit head in their hands as that one slips by the wayside.
Well, you can see the devil and the angel on James' shoulder as well. He's like, do I peek? Do I tuck? Do I peek? And Buster's just calling, man, yeah, I'm not helping you. You can have fun there. Just squeeze up in the sandwich and wait as long as you can. If Inters had more ammo, hey, if he had an A4, maybe he could have transferred, but it didn't matter there at the end of the day. VP steal it away. Buster just not facing. And that has been VP in these post-plants through and through. You keep talking about it. It keeps coming in, right?
I mean, dude, like that.
Get bomb down on A and hide.
That's perfect, because, like, James dies, gets nothing done. But what he does do is he wastes so much time in a position where, like, really he was screwed from the offset, right? Yeah. And a lot of other players there might have elected, knowing they're dead anyway, to try and take someone down with them. But not James. He is playing a time game.
Stopwatch out. Time Lord.
Yeah, man of Gallifrey, all right. Shiro over in Con.
Oh dear.
Sanji catches one, and Shiro is knocked out through the smoke. The clash of the AWPs comes up in favor of VP, and at the worst possible time as well. This was 5-on-4 out of the gate for Gambit to try and keep the dream alive. What's happened there then?
Thought B was a lot more clear than it is. Two players are still here. Inters gets out safely. Nafany going to stop the split. Buster with his back turn to this round has fallen apart at the seams. VP were in control for a moment. There is a Molotov. Nade will do as well. Very good nade, but no commitment with it. Back out they go. VP reset. Even if it's only to check the flank and recommit later into B, you want to hope Gambit misread, and they've done that. Nafany has moved out of market to watch spawn, and this is such a safe CT setup for Gambit, giving a lot of space. All it's coming down to is Inters in the B bomb site. Even going 1-for-1 here would be fantastic. VP, it's a hard angle to check. They've got a lot of corners to clear, and Inters is waiting right below. Spray is good. 1 kill. Sanji dead. And Inters, he may have been quiet, but he's not feeding. He's not throwing away rounds, and he's not wasting that opportunity.
Yeah, you know, I mean, opportunities like that only come along once in a lifetime, right? So there's Inters locking it in. 9 on the board for Gambit in a round that looked like it was going to be their downfall.
Yeah. 3-on-5 there after those opening couple of mid picks.
Yeah, man. I mean, a man down, but then the misread from VP. It must feel good for Gambit that they're able to recover that, because as we say, they get that early pick in that round there, right? And then it starts to fall away from them into the 3-on-4, as you say. So the fact that Inters has his round, maybe that's a bit of a confidence booster. This is just a shutdown at the A-bomb site. Hello, nade.
One way to do it.
Trying to outdo Alexi's nade damage, perhaps, and Nafany will lock it in. So now double digits for Gambit. 5 in a row needed. Not going to be easy, but it was never going to be easy. Do they have the metal for it?
Yeah, like we said earlier, like the last 2 times these guys have played were in BO5 finals, one at Kato and one for another CIS RMR. So, you know, both times Gambit won it, both times map 5 was Mirage, and both times did it only go 4 maps, so we never got to see that. And here it is, right on your screens, VP. Would they have won those series if it went the distance? Well, maybe the answer's in front of you. Or maybe they're just having a good day. Even so, not out of the woods. More Glocks, more Ecos as Gambit get raring to go. Closer behind than ever before. And VP using the old existence strat book. Just taking a moment. Why use a pause when you can use a live round? Wait for the util. Let Gambit burn their own money.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a really, you know, there's a reason why so many teams do this, as you say, right? You're saving the pause, and the other point you made, you burn out the util. I mean, that's always the goal of these rounds, is to make them expensive. And when they are like flat vanilla pistol rounds with like a few P250s here and there, utility is the best way to force that reinvestment out of your opponent. You know, every drop of money counts in a game like this.
This is where the mowdown begins. Oh, with a nade. It's got a bit deep. No, it stopped. It hit Sanji in the face. That's a high damage HE. Molly might finish the job. And if not, the bullets will do it instead. Axel with a spray. And goodbye, VP. It was always going to be that way.
But this is it. This is what you've been waiting for now. You've taken the time to talk about what you want to do. The other advantage of having that chat while the round's live, especially if you're a team like VP that take rounds slowly like that anyway, is when you call in the pause, it's expected that you're going to make some kind of change, some kind of either pace change or adjustment to what you've been doing. You know, for all Gambit, no, VP could have been searching for kills in that round, could have been looking across the map.
Yeah, we're checking T-Spawn. They're not here. Only T's. All right, A-split, a quicker one. This is what worked for, you know, Gambit with a pace change as well in that T side, just getting quick up connector. Now, Axel has that space at least. Is Nafany ready? He's tucked in the corner. This is a good spot. He's got to clear it manual mode, and he's still scared about short with Axel making a lot of noise. Jump missed. It's up to the A play. Yikinda will be a little bit late in the window backstab, and Kicker is back out through the smoke while he waits for that lurker. Yikinda's made it cool. Guys, wait. I am behind enemy lines, and no one has a clue. This is an excellent play. Bomb's resetting B, and Yikinda's seen at least one, but he wants more. He wants the round. He wants the series, and he's got it in the palm of his hand.
Yeah, he's waiting here for a moment.
They just checked. They turned around. They're scared of it.
Oh, no.
It's gone too quiet.
Yeah, and this is also because, you know, you've given
No
up middles.
way.
You start to get suspicious. You start to think, well, what's going on here? What was that noise? They even dinked through the spam spot. You've heard that now as well. You go, oh, they were poisoned for the B play with the Yikinda.
The saddest part is, if Yikinda just went,
we just committed, yeah.
He would have had the round. He could have even taken a kill, but it's the hesitation, the second guessing, the doubt for Gambit. All that is a teammate going, yeah, I mean, could be window, window, could be behind you, could be, and he was. And now 20 seconds, you don't want to save, but that kill might re-entice you back in. Ramp, rush, with the bomb resetting for the 3rd time in the round, and Buster's going to get that kill, but mid is lost. It's up to Buster and James. If Buster dies, it's done. He needs a CT plant now, and James has a bit of cover, but not for long. Here they come.
Yeah, they're moving up through CT as well. No one's looking at it, and so the lineup is in for Inters.
What a recovery
I was about to say, he might have been having a quiet game. You wouldn't know that now. He's slowly but surely grinding his way back in. And, you know, even on these B plays, when he hasn't gotten many kills, the utility he's been throwing has been killer. It's been setting up his B players for success. And, you know, it's a recovery story all around there.
Kinder's not going to be happy after that one. Or, you know, even if he just walked out and took a better position, like got in the bomb site.
It's heartbreaking because, like, you know that is the game. Like, that kind of position is the game in your hands. And for them to have hit that timing to check it, heartbreak for Yikinda.
Good awareness from Gambit, man. Like, they've had reads, and that's another example of one. Fast out A, these pistols have not been good for VP, but if there were any time to pull the wool over your opponent's eyes and pull around out of nowhere, it would be this one. Axile, smoke spam from short. It's one way to do it. Trying to stop a delay a bomb plant as long as you can.
All right, Jay. Now you're going to dodge these shots, baby. He puts the numbers in, and he puts the lotion on his skin. Here he is. A horror film for James as he closes the gap, dead to the AWP of Shiro. But Buster and Yakinda, they are trying to play around this bomb. They are trying to give as few peeks as possible and delay this defuse, but a tap on it will bait a peek out eventually, and there's Yakinda falling on the other side. It's the low HP player on the bomb, but it doesn't matter because Shiro's going to lock in that kill and keep Gambit in this one. 13-15. And now it really puts into context of why that Yakinda round is so heartbreaking. Because that could have been the victory, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah.
And now Gambit are fired up. You know, maybe a few rounds ago, they were saying, look, let's just do what we can. You know, like we know how good we are. We can make this happen. Maybe you weren't entirely believing. But right now, you are 2 rounds away from taking this to OT. You're getting fired up. Inters as well. As we said, he's been on one hell of a recovery. Guy is probably now very vocal and trying to pump the rest of the boys up.
Oh.
Shiro's even taking liberties, seeing what he can get away with. There's one from the AWP. There will be an equalizer, but Shiro keeps it in Gambit's pocket. 4 on 3, right out of the gate. Virtus.pro, they need an answer, and they need it now.
Banged out through the wall. This was 15-8 to VP at one point in the game. Gambit have closed the gap, whether you like it or not. Not the first time they pulled a CT Mirage comeback. They've done it to just about every region. Mouse, Liquid, and now VP as well. These guys love a bit of a recovery on the Mirage, and VP just want to end it. They want to kick the door shut while they can. A 3 on 4. Back to A. Hobbits and CT been playing nice and safe. Orb still covered in connector by Nafany, and we've got some util to maybe make a plant complicated in the hands of Shiro. We'll see if he gets it in time. His util is excellent. Hobbit's going to get that info, and then suddenly the comp players can just turn around. The molly might be the early warning system anyway. They clear mid. They make sure there's no lurker or backstab. You might want to peek under to be insured. Chair gets checked. Shiro mollies the site, and now with 25, here come VP.
Oh. Shiro, there's the nade. That's
short.
Just falling a little short, yeah, but it doesn't matter because Hobbit has collected yet another kill. Kicker out in the open, dead. James trying to do what he can. 1 on 3, 10 seconds, first man down, but Shiro's going to trade it. 14-15. And Gambit are 1 away from an overtime. Now, if you're looking for some kind of silver lining, for something to hold on to as a VP fan, is that the loss bonus is maxed out. So they're looking to come through with an investment here. It will have some limitations. I'm not sure you can don that AWP on James.
Sanju will find a way if he wants it.
Yeah, the accountant.
He'll go glass Glock or whatever he needs to do. My goodness. This is insane. This is crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be... Actually, Jay might have it dropped. No. Nope. Not allowed. AKs will do. No point crying over spilt milk or lost orbs. You've got to get it done with rifles. You've had more than enough opportunity if you're VP here. Like I said, 15-8 Gambit now in round 30. You're looking to make it overtime, and that's when you just get a whole different game out of Gambit. In we go. Another mid take, or at least a semblance of it. Con Molly gets smoked by Nafany. He's even flashed in, taking a lot of space. Shiro pushed up top mid with the AWP in the previous round. Gambit won't do that again. They'll wait for VP's first move, which of course will be delayed.
Yeah, it's just a very different looking beast, and the scariest part is as you say, when you hit OT, mate, it only gets scarier. Like, Gambit are playing with a lot more confidence because they're believing. And even that's kind of interesting, because oftentimes when you've gone the full 30 rounds, when you're the team having to haul it back, you might start to, you know, try and like drill yourself in, play a little bit safer till you hit that OT. But it's been the more confident look out of Gambit that's done them well, right? These mid peaks out of guys like Shiro, Nafany trying to repeat that in this round, and they've already pieced together that this is feeling like an A play. They haven't seen much in middle. Nafany, who was flashed in, never spotted anyone in middle. And so they've pieced together what's going going on. Shiro smoked off in CT. There was a gap in it last time. There's also a gap in the jungle smoke. Shiro's gone right through. He wants to dance. He wants to party. And this orb from behind Triple, lighting up the server. Shiro, not the third. Silenced by Sanji. And is that enough to keep the dream alive for Virtus.pro to end this in regulation after all?
Inter's flashing them back in, but Gambit are in no hurry. VP have gone quiet, they've gone cold, 25, and they're holding. Looking to see in a CT play, we need some util to get us some space. Molotov will provide a bit of cover, but that bomb plant has to come down eventually. Yakinda's kind of trapped down, naded down to 9, and it's a headshot from Nafany down middle. They do get the plant, but they won't get much further. Gambit have done it. The retake is immediate. They barely let VP get the bomb down, and we are into bonus play in this map. 15-8. All the way to extra rounds. Gambit, they've earned their place.
Hey Future Pros, back on Mirage, this time with a flash. This flash should help you when taking the B site. To do this flash, get into this corner. Aim at the top part of this wall in the center. Run forward and throw the flash just before you collide with the edge of the wall. With practice, you should be able to do this one quickly and on the fly.
It's often Virtus.pro winning in a war of attrition. Normally, it's them pushing these games to be as long as they can and grinding you down. But right now, it's Gambit doing that to VP. We've got a date with destiny, my friend. Overtime between Gambit and Virtus.pro from 15-8 to VP's favor. Now, up in the air and into overtime.
Yeah, pace changes often apparent once we hit OT, and that's for both sides. Gambit running up top mid, and they've got the cover. Shiro got the pick, and Axel is unbeknownst to VP, but they still deal with it. One step ahead, Buster ready for the refrag, keeping things even. Shiro's going to get boosted up into B apartments. He's one step ahead as well. VP do want to take that B bomb site. They got a couple up in apartments right now. Bomb is rerouting spawn side. Kicker not getting aggressive though. Shiro has to be patient if he wants to be profited. Window smoke's going to fade eventually. That will give Nafni a bit more info. VP look like they want to come up catwalk into this B site, but Kicker's forced back by a Molotov. Will dodge death for now. It's smoke or molly. He'll choose neither. Smoke towards connector will keep Nafni out. Even a window re-smoke, it's looking obviously like a B play now. Gambit can make that read. Shiro's still sat back on the bomb site. He's even traded places within Turs. It's going to be the fake from Sanji as VP take B.
Yeah, still too strong here for Gambit.
Ooh, he saw him.
Shiro might be too strong as well. He's seen a leg, but will he be able to take any more away? There's the opener for Shiro, ready for Jane, but is he on his eyes on the apartments? No. Onto the USP, but he's given time to change weapons, given time for a second chance. Shiro, ooh, a third, and the B bomb site is locked down by one man. Shiro sends him packing, and there's Nafani to close.
Yeah, that was desperate for VP. Sanji got the pick back out A, and they wanted to double back. They wanted to bail out of B once they saw that AWP find picks. I mean, VP got picks on both bomb sites at the same time as well. James going here as well, but he couldn't escape from Shiro's AWP. Jumped across to grab the bomb, but it was the jump back that let him down. And Shiro 4 frags off the AWP, including that opening kill out window. Woo! Whole different beast are Gambit and OT, and they go back to these mid takes that have been doing so well for them. Even though Axel died from it last time, for the majority of these pushes, it has been Shiro coming up top with openers.
Yeah, I mean, you could already see the change in playstyle and the confidence reflecting in that, but when you hit OT, when the slate is wiped clean, it all gets kicked up a notch. Now, there's the opener for Kicker, but Hobbit is trying to have a say in how this round pans out. That's a gnarly spam. Hobbit, you are playing with fire. You are playing with smoke. And there's your Kindar wrecking him through it. 3 on 5. And you want to know what VP going to do here? They're going to tuck most of these boys in. And look, even Sanji, who's gone aggressive, isn't going that aggressive, and he will get caught. Axel removes one of the ramp players. Maybe there's a way back in after all. This was 3 on 5. This was meant to be VP leveling the playing field. Maybe it's anything but. Time is the problem, though. Gambit, half of it ticked off that bomb already. Axel not spotted yet. James doesn't look aware. James looked away, and there's the wraparound from Axel, hitting a great timing. Buster has to do it all. The first kill comes in, not a trade in sight. They can't deal with him. Onto the bomb for Axel, and Buster's gonna lock it in. It's not pretty, but VP, they do get that 16th round they were looking for, and after the double opener, you thought they were owed.
Oh, James, yeah, he kept checking it with a Glock, thinking like, yeah, if Axel's this late, he's probably reset. Also, worth noting, when Axel got this kill, look here, he like stops and almost walks backward, maybe even to fake the death cam just that little bit. Yeah. We know in the latest update, death cam got reduced in time, so even less reaction to the information you get post-death. Obviously, always less with a headshot, but now even more. And yeah, that's very unlucky for James, but thank goodness it doesn't cost the Buster. Final bullet kill, but I don't think there was time for the defuse anyway. Yakinda out behind the boxes. Buster was here a lot in the first half, and they love to molly him, force his smoke out. Yakinda does have util. There's the molly. Smoke's going to go down. Inters takes Shiro Zorp, who is having an excellent game, but still entrusting him with that gun. Obviously, because he's low. Yakinda's found a bit of a pocket of air behind that smoke on molly. Didn't have to use his util. Now they don't know his boxes. That could be big for him. Axel sees a barrel, though. Oh, the nade is the killing blow. Nothing you can do about it. 5 on 4 for Gambit by design. They grab that pick, and now they're ready for A.
Oh, Nafani, you evil son of a gun. He's blocked the smoke, hasn't he? He's headed it out into the open. The flash is banging for Hobbit. Gets him a freebie on the Famus. And VP, they've grinded to a halt. They do have Sanji once again over here towards B. But, you know, if you see Sanji alone at B, I don't think that's going to trigger a mass rotation, a mass exodus away from this A bomb site.
Plus, he's got to clear this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's like, this is just having an info play, essentially. You've got one guy here who can hear players coming in and who can stop that bomb from going down, and that's his whole sole job, essentially. You pull one player over as a precaution, but Sanji's already dead, and now you feel pretty assured that this is the A play after all. So the rotations are coming back. You've missed the window to get into a lesser defended A bomb site, and even then, Hobbit might be the only piece that was needed. He's going to knock them all down and leave Gambit in the lead all the way from 15-8 to Virtus.pro.
Yeah, Hobbit has been so good under Palace in this game. Like, they've been mollying him out in every single A attack. They even did here. You see, the molly wasn't perfect. It just landed on top of Balk. It barely bled through. But even when it did, there was a flash from Nafany out from jungle side, and Hobbit's able to swing and get opening kills with that. Even follows up with a 3-piece in the round. Yeah, he's been lighting them up from the A site. Ankle work. Hawk was talking about that in the desk in the pre-match. Best at it. And right now showing in the server. And yeah, even in Terz's recovery, you know, the numbers might not be massive, but they were poor. He was 4-11 at the half, and yeah, he's had some huge
just being able to hold your own over towards B, right? Like when you're anchoring that side of the map, you need to be able to hold the line, and it was just the ability to even go 1-for-1.
Less B plays as well. He's not often even been at B because Shiro's been like rotating and swapping spots, but VP also haven't done a lot of B takes. They've been doing mid takes and A splits, and Inter's won like a bunch of retakes for Gambit on the CT side. Right now, up by 1 in this second half, in this potentially last half if Gambit have their way. And a lot of room in middle. VP, this is one hell of a gamble. 5 moving over. They got to doubt it eventually.
Talk about
5's a lot.
Sign of the times, right? Like that just screams desperation.
Oh,
and the bomb's going back over here towards A with that top con smoke down. It's such an annoying smoke because it reveals so little about the true intention of the round while opening up so many possibilities, right?
Oh no.
It's going to let them group up and can't split this A bomb site. Still 4 stacked for Virtus.pro over towards B, and we know what these guys are like. If Yakindar isn't able to get something done here, then this could be a round falling apart. Now they've cleared out the apartments, they've cleared B, they've pieced together that this is the A play, and a 5-on-3 retake. Virtus.pro not out of the game yet.
Yeah, good damage onto the AWP as well. Sure is boxed in and even naded when he gets there. Axel needs to hit some heads, and it's only 1 before he's gone. Inters, we talked about his clutching, but this is something else. 1-on-4 to keep this game going. Kick good. Low HP, but he's still going to finish the job with Buster at his side. It's a retake, it's a defuse, and hell, the retake setup works wonders when VP have a 5-on-3. It just means there are no avenues back in for Gambit, no picks, no solo players to take down on their own. VP just come back in swinging with numbers, and this game has got legs on it still. Double overtime is still a possibility.
Yeah, if you want to look at some key moments in this round, Yakindar having a huge play in terms of pushing Con to get that info that it was the mid play in towards the A site, right? Yeah. He shuts down Hobbit, and as he does that, the players at B, I think it was Sanji, pushes deep into the apartments, and at that point, it's confirmed now that it's not the B play, the stack was wrong, and so you're getting ahead of the A play by already moving those players over with the man advantage. Yakindar just did so much for them there, but is it all for nothing? Because this round's opened up by Nafany, a bit of a change of pace. He faces at A without even a drop of utility to give it away.
Oh, he was even aiming above. Jame ready for the jump, dropped Shiro out of the round. VP, they flipped this round on its head. They've somehow unscrewed Gambit in a 4-on-5. Now up by 1. Axel's going to level the playing field. Yakinda getting aggressive and window killed. James going to have to rotate out, try and check that mid information, stop a cap play. But meanwhile, they're already out the A site. Hobbit's crept towards Tetris. We've talked about some of the lurks that he's gotten off. It's less of a lurk. The bomb's with him, for crying out loud. It's even been spotted. But Hobbit's taking space while James' attention is on that Palace player. Axel can't kill the rotate. James gambled. After seeing the bomb in Palace, you wonder if he saw it was the bomb, if that appeared on the map, because that is a big gamble to make. It's going to take time for the bomb to go back to B if it ever were to be, but it's not. James re-aggressing towards Catwalk. He can stop an open bomb plant here. Something Gambit have gone for a lot is towards triple. He's still got to care about Axel and ladder, and the bomb is safe from Jame, safe from short. Jame now is playing shotgun AWP if he's retaking from middle. Buster's out in CT, and they still don't know about Axel, who's been hit all round.
Oh, they're taking a long route back, and Axel was going to wrap this, but he can't get there in time, and he knows that. Hobbit's set up in Palace to play around this bomb, and VP might get given a horrible taste of their own medicine. No one will face you. No one will fight you. You've got to go and seek these fights. And with so much time ticked off for this bomb, this is a last-second attempt at the retake. Smoke on the bomb. Inters with the first. Swinging out is him finding it through the smoke, and it's Gambit up onto match point, 18-17. It's double overtime or bust for VP.
Oh, VP, that one hurts as well. James just leaving the A side. I don't know if that was it may have just been him playing for the triple plant, which I can't blame because Gambit have gone for that exact triple plant so many rounds. Of course, it's now they go for the reverse default one. And, the smoke spam's scary, but it does connect. And yeah, you're playing, I guess, for two things. The B rotate after the bomb spotted A, and also that short stop. But neither of them are allowed. Gambit just recommit back into that A site, and they get the perfect plant to counter that setup. Even Buster in spawn, not able to stop it. Dear, oh dear, he could have, he should have, he would have, but it's Gambit instead, on to match point. First time for them, we'll reiterate, 15-8 for Virtus.pro in regulation. They had this game ready to close. And Gambit now sit a round up into a technical to make matters worse. You've got a stew in it. But we're back.
Oh, I mean, I'm never one to discount VP from making a game, even longer and even more of this war of attrition. Sure. For both, these are two incredible comeback teams, both trying to out-comeback one another, right? Sure. But where Gambit had to embark on a huge journey and find 7 in a row to force overtime, VP only need 1. So by that kind of count, I'm not ready to say that this is a Gambit victory, signed, sealed, and delivered just yet. It's a slow start to the round. No one wants to be that first domino to fall in what could be your downfall.
Yeah, look at it this way. VP have had 2 out of the last 12 rounds of play. It's not going to do much for the confidence in recent times. It's all you can think of. It's on the tip of your tongue, the teeth and the lips. Flash into B, Gambit just going contact, one flash, and in they go. Sanji getting pushed out of position. He's alone on this B site, and he needs to anchor down, but he can't. Nafany clears him. Deep smoke in, or getting cut off by the same towards market. Look at this execute for Gambit. It's not telegraphed, it's not thrown in early, it's thrown in late instead, and Kinder dives through the smoke. He might make magic happen. 2 kills, traded out, forget the bomb. They're in the site, we've got to deal with the problem at hand.
Yeah, and Intez is so far away, right? He was looking out towards this A bomb site, so suddenly all the pressure is on for the guys in the site. Shiro dead, Axile falls as well, and Virtus.pro, you can't write them off. Your Kindar's coming clutch to make it happen, and James is holding for the late mid lurk. It's a double overtime affair. VP versus Gambit is raging on.
And do you remember, it seems like days ago now, regulation when we had, rounds where VP wouldn't go out market, they wouldn't charge through.
That's what
we won.
Me.
That's what we won, right? Look at the little cheeky retake smoke, I presume thrown by Buster, that goes out towards bench. Yakinda dives through the market door smoke. VP know that game is done if they respect the smokes and they let Gambit plant. Instead, they run through the market door smoke and they hound down Gambit. At that point, you can't even plant their back site. And like you said, Inter's too far away. Nothing going right for Gambit. It all was at the start. The double entry seemed like it was destined.
It was all going right till it wasn't. Yeah. And then it went astronomically wrong in the blink of an eye. And it's rounds like that serves, as you say, this reminder that in that round, which at the time felt inconsequential when VP didn't go for the 3-on-2. Well, we've seen how one round would have made all the difference. It's times like that where you see what they're capable of, when their back's against the wall, when saving is no longer an option and you get just the balls to the wall VP that run you down. It's so exciting, and so often they get away with it as well.
Yeah. Hey, you said they like to make the games longer. They've certainly done that here. We've been treated with a double overtime to see who continues to go flawless in Group B. James smoked out a window. Little gap maybe, but he can't seem to find anything. Out he goes. avoiding nades and spam through the smoke. Gambit going to regroup. Hobbit check spawn, just in case. Palace push could come through here. Talking of pushing, it's actually on the ramp side. As the smoke fades, 2 players wait, and Nafny covers top con with utility. VP don't really know anything. They don't have much info. They're gambling again towards this A site. Jane waiting for a jump up. He hears something. The smoke. I like that. It's a little fakey, wakey for Nafny. He jumps up, but he doesn't commit. So Jane, with the smoke, now needs to care the possibility of a window player, but there's no one. It's all a bit of a ruse. Gambit have put in false info in the back of VP's mind, and now they set up for this B split.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's like a nice way of misdirecting the attention of VP. Yeah, so fixated on the idea of a lurk in towards jungle. They're keeping Yakindar here to watch it, and that's keeping a lot of bodies towards this A bomb site, leaving just one man over here at B. Sanji has got to hold the line. He does have support coming in from Yakindar. A 1 out of Sanji is good. Not quite the double, and now Yakindar, the unknown entity, the fly in the ointment, back of the site, drops another. Brought to his knees, it's a 3-on-3, but the bomb in the prying eyes of Jane. You gotta get past, you gotta get by. They do get the bomb, and they don't die. Shiro puts in the numbers. And now we're on for another one of these retakes out of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, no time to save. You just got to give it your all. Nafny spams out kicker. Jane waits for a repeat, and if you give it to him, you are just playing the Jane game. No one wants to. He's going to have to hunt. That's more like it for James. Shiro's on the AWP. He's back on default, scoped up. James saw him on the fadeaway. Will he be ready for a refrag? Nafny not making any moves, waiting for James to come to him. Shiro ready for the shotgun AWP. He's all the stands. Quick shot doesn't connect, and Buster locks in the retake round with James on the kit. They have enough time, and those are the retakes that VP would save in regulation, but have no business doing so once we hit double overtime. That's more like it.
You see that shot out of James? That's the kind of, that's the kind of adrenaline pumping moves I wish this guy gave us more often. It's that kill that starts the whole thing, right? The only reason that they have a chance is that Jay makes a mad dash out through the window to bring it back into a 2-on-2, force respect out of Gambit, and suddenly, because they're both hiding, they're both playing, the time around the bomb, they're not peeking to support one another, right? You separate that into 2v1 fights.
Gambit are feeling the pressure now. Of course, they probably were earlier on in regulation, 7 rounds down, but now, here in double overtime, VP are having their second win. They barely held on to the first overtime. Now they're making magic happen. Kicker anchoring A, 2 kills. Oh my goodness, it's all Kicker. Gets out through the molly. You haven't even thought about Buster yet. He's typically on B, but we've just left Sanji solo B all overtime long. Think about it. He's never had help, and he doesn't need it because Buster's locking in the A round. Shiro dead on top of the balcony. Just smoke spam for Yakindar. And yeah, like you've just reinforced A every round. Sanji most of the time has gotten away with 1 and done, and that's fine.
Yeah, 100%. And you say that's fine. That's the interesting part, right? It goes back to the comment you just made, which is in regulation, they wouldn't attempt like these
that's
retakes.
not fine, yeah.
Normally, it's not fine. You need a multi-kill in the site holds to even entice VP in. But once they say to Sanji, look, mate, if you can just give us 1, we'll do the rest, And that's a very liberating feeling. And now they've kind of gone, okay, they know we're playing this solo A hold. They just, solo B hold. They've seen that we've been reinforcing this A site. So they go back to a more standard, 2-man setup over towards B. And look at the kind of level of read. No one is even holding Palace or ramp. That is how determined they are that this is not the A play. A has actually been left to the AWP solo, James floating between stairs and con. And even then, he's up and leaving. They have fully tried to read this one.
It's round 30 all over again, or was it the first overtime? I can't even remember, but the full B stack out of VP. Oh my goodness. It was Gambit CT side that was full of reads like this in reg to pull the comeback, and now VP are doing it yet again, but this time not correct. However, Kickett seemed to realize he's already moved back out of spawn. Nafny pushed out of con. Yeah, they know what's going on. VP not insured in their B stack. Are they ready for a window boost? It's been a while. Yakindar, he's been good at finding these con timings to stop players getting up behind them, and he's going to do it again. Now knows, with that being silent, he was con the whole time. There's got to be another player around middle. There's no way that Nafny jumped up into mid Where has that man gone? Gambit are resetting as well. They can't make up their mind.
No, right? We talked about how there were times where VP looked desperate with some of the gambles. Well, this round is desperation all over. You've gone B, you've gone A. You kind of couldn't really set your mind to anything.
Oh, Hobbit.
Hobbit's kill at the A-bomb site might make things a little more exciting, but it hasn't drawn rotations away from this B-bomb site. And so now this push is coming in. Well, these B players are tucked in. They're ready to hold. Buster and Sanji. Oh, this time Sanji doesn't manage to get one and done. Is that a difference maker? Is that all it takes for Gambit to find a round? A 4-on-3 post-plant. VP, they're still bogged down dealing with Hobbit. Buster's going to get that one for free, but there won't be many more freebies, or so you might think. Suddenly, this B bomb site is just one man, and Jame holding for the CT rotation. It's a little movement piece, but Yakindar doesn't care for your movement. Shiro, 1-on-3. Often we call this guy a bit of a clutch king. He's got to show that now more than ever. Tucked in at the truck, bomb ticking away, and the shot misses. Virtus.pro, they go flawless on the CT side of this second overtime. 21 rounds to their name, and now just one away from locking in this victory after all.
Hey, match point, VP, they've been great at match points, haven't they? They've never had trouble once we're right at the very end, but this is a very different looking VP. This is a clean
that's
VP.
The thing, right? To get Gambit fired up once, like, that's doable, but to then have to dig deep and do that all over again to just secure another overtime, that is a very big ask, and it's heavy, man. That's a big deal.
You're getting exhausted at this point. Look at the mid push. Even Nafany, he tried to go for. He bails. Oh, bugged smoke. Not what you want. It's fallen through the ground in middle. Shame. If he uncrouches, could be a dead man. Hobbit peeks in, and no one gets the shot off. Not at least connecting. Yakinda's crossed out top mid. Nafany, is he going to check it? Or will it never matter? He backs out. He backs off. But they still don't know about Yakinda. That's one way to catch you by surprise, and Yakinda's got a double. Gift wrapped as Gambit are trapped back in A. 2 players. Bomb still in middle. VP haven't made up their mind. They don't need to.
Hobbit up. What can he do with it? There's one. Yakinda finally bought out of the round. VP still haven't really moved a muscle, right? They've just let Yakinda do his magic over in middle before they make their mind up as to where this is hoping to end. Double AWP hold towards this A-bomb site. Inters anchoring that B side all alone. And VP are grouping up towards A. The AWPs are at least in the right spot, but I was going to say, right, there is utility for VP, but not enough to cut off both these angles. You've got a choice to make with what you want to do here, and they might just contact play it to not give that info ahead of time. They will throw one smoke over the top con. That makes Shiro's life a little harder, but not Hobbit. He's still got free reign out through CT. This AWP needs to deliver. Hobbit striking them from the tally. Shiro pushes ahead of the smoke as well, and it's just Sanji left. The AWPs looking to keep Gambit alive. Sanji spammed, and Inter's going to close out that round. Gambit are not ready to let go. Will this game ever end?
That was a 5-on-3, man. Yakinda, oh, dude, double kill up on middle, right? Open players of, I think it was Nafany and Axel, and you'd think the VP, how can they balls up that round? But the double AWP does it all. And yeah, the top con smoke, I mean, that just sends Shiro back to window, so he's not even perturbed by it at all. Hobbit, these are quick shots as well. You know, quick scoping Jame, who's on his angle out ramp. That's a lovely kill out of Hobbit. Big AWP round from him. Even got that con pick earlier as well. And Gambit, why quit believing now? Triple overtime.
Hobbit really did just save the day, and that's what he's so good at. Like, you know, we said all the way back in regulation, he's so good on his own, and that makes him a phenomenal late game player, right? When you're in those, you know, call it a clutch moment, he's not 1vx, but for all intents and purposes, he is the one guy that can stop that A play. Think about what he did in that round. He dealt with Yakinda, who had already wrecked 2 of his teammates in middle, who was facilitating that A wrap in the first place, and then, as you say, taking Jame out, an incumbent Jame who's on your angle. Bro, that's incredible. And the speed at which he did it, the decisiveness at which he turned that round on its head is unreal. Can Gambit grind their way back in to a 3rd overtime? Hobbit just might have got me believing.
Yeah, completely undecided, but Kicker wanted to close, and Nafany came right to him. somehow recovers that spray and picks up the opening kill. Gambit now have something to lean on, something to rest their head on. Yakinda's back out mid, but you're not going to be seeing Gambit fight for this and molly him out of boxes anymore. They're going to give mid away. They're going to give you the satisfaction because they've got the man up. Pressure's not on Gambit, pressure's on VP, and they're waiting for a pick that will never appear. Sat back in their bomb sites on their laurels are Gambit. VP regroup with the bomb. 3 out on middle. Sanji selling B. And might even come to join them in under. So it's just going to be a full mid take. But as said, Gambit aren't fighting this part of the map. You're going to be hard pressed to get these picks. The only guy on the chopping block is Axel in ladder. And you'll need a double molly to really cause some claustrophobia for him. Molly out under buys more time. It's time that VP don't have to spare. 45. This is all the makings of a Gambit round, unless VP pulled the rabbit right out of the hat.
Mate, this late round utility from Gambit has been lovely as well. Just whittling players down. Axel's missed that timing, and Anthony dead at top con. This could still spiral. 2 players in this A bomb site.
He's trapped.
Maybe feeling the pressure. Yeah, James got to get this bomb out of middle and in towards A. 20 seconds. The smoke will give him cover to do so.
Oh, no!
Yakinda with spray, and Shiro from CT has really just saved the round there. James is left hiding away with the AWP. The only way he's going to have it is if he holds on, so needs to stay alive. Gambit at least give him... I say that, they are looking for him. They are hunting him, but they can't find him. Gambit onto 20, and now 1 away from a 3rd overtime.
Oh my
This was meant to be BO1s, but you know, they found a way to make it feel like a BO3.
That's that VP magic, my friend. A 15-8 regulation scoreline. I'll never stop harping on. This is insane. How did Axel win that? One thing for Yakinda to whiff that kill, but another thing entirely for Axel to hit the drop shot popping out of the ladder room. Yakinda knew what was going on. Okay, back to middle, back to the smoke. Shiro's cut out. We even had a player hit the ladder jump, but with VP not taking fast mid, Axel's position is of little interest. And VP, another chance, another shot. They had a clean CT side. It felt like that was all they needed. Gambit known for a CT comeback. They did it in reg. They're doing it in overtime. It's nothing new. This is either VP closing the map and series or Gambit bringing us to a 3rd overtime.
Yeah, grouping for a late top mid take once again. VP not looking to betray their signature slow style here as they work this mid control. And Axel offering up a kill early. Far from ideal. Shiro is feeling pressure to trade this out. And I love it. Sanji just doesn't give him that opportunity. He says, look, I've seen your AWP in con. I know you can hit these, so I just won't let you.
He's going to make sure lean B, or is he going CT to ticket? Either way, it's a long route back into the site. VP are exploding on A. They're getting ready to do so. Bombs coming up ramp. 2 from connector. This is all the makings of a VP round finally, but we've said that before. Shiro is now realizing, doubling back out of CT. Nafany got a smoke to deal with, and he catches Sanji walking through, but they spam him. Yakinda, the man of connector, the man of the hour, full of openers, and Shiro missing shots. Hobbit jumps up. He needs a transfer. Somehow alive with 12 health. James just living, pulls the pistol, and VP try to close.
Can they though? Shiro and Inters still to get past missed shot, and Inters will capitalize. It's not over yet. Yakinda lost to the ebbs of time down in bottom middle. Inters out through CT. Kicker playing around this bomb while Yakinda is faking a jump up to window, and they've fallen for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Spray, and Shiro gets rid of him. Kicker's got to do it. They're on the bomb. Oh, there's one. They got enough of it, and there's the closer. Virtus.pro get it over the line after all blood, sweat, and tears.